Welcome back to the Bearded Hermit. This has been a busy 2 weeks on the A-frame build. I finished screwing down the second story deck boards. The framework gets put up for the upstairs trusses. I'm cutting out the first set of posts. And I install those posts, making sure everything fits together just right.
What a beautiful sunny spring day. It's nice. I'm so glad spring finally got here. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, it seems winter was not quite done with us in the UP of Michigan. We got 7 inches of snow on the first week of April. I knew this could happen, but it doesn't make it any easier to shovel. It's a wet, heavy snow, and I need to be careful not to slip and fall off the cabin. It's a nice, beautiful day, so I guess it could be worse. The next few days were very warm and everything melted down. So I move on to installing all the screws on the upstairs deck. These boards need to be secure for the next step in the build, bringing the framework up to place the posts. I'm using knee pads and a nice little stool to sit on. My body just can't take working on the floor anymore. After getting a new battery, I keep at it. Each deck board gets 2 screws into every 2x6 it lays across. Things got much more stable up here after all the screws were installed. Looking back, it was not the safest thing to be walking around on loose boards with only 2 screws in them. And my battery died putting in the last screw. It took a minute, but it had just enough juice to get that last screw flush. Next, I go down to bring up the framework to install the posts on the second floor. They're the same frames I used on the first floor trusses. All the angles should be the same, so they should work perfectly. I place them right up against the first floor posts. And of course, I check for level. Next, I start taking measurements. I need to know how long the posts need to be and where to cut the notches at the bottom to make a tight fit. I haven't sharpened my chainsaw in a while, and I remember the last set of A-frame posts was kind of hard to cut through. Using a file is not as bad as it looks. You just need to keep the same angle on all the teeth. I hit all the teeth on one side, and then move on to the other side. Using this vise is a great help. These posts will be my test set. I took all my measurements and lengths, so I'll be cutting all my angles and notches, and later we'll see how well they fit together. First, I'm cutting the bottoms of the vertical posts to match up with the first floor roofline posts. I remember to give myself some ventilation by opening the door, and I put a little gate up to keep Con inside. He's just standing there trying to figure out how to escape. I get all my lines drawn, make my side cuts, and start notching out the sides.
So here I'm cutting out the bottoms of these 6x6 posts, and they're going to match up with the first floor post at the top, and this is the bottom of the upper post. It needs to be on the 27-degree angle here, and I cut back 9 inches, and these will fit right into all the tops of those A-frame trusses. All the math is different on these than the first floor, with lengths and notches and everything. So I'm making one test set. I'm going to bring them out there, and I'm going to attempt to install one of these and see if I have all the numbers correct. So we'll see.
Next, I turn the posts around and cut them to length and mark them to cut the notch to accept the top beam. These do not need to be very deep like the bottom posts, and should be much easier to cut. Surprisingly, cutting these notches go quick.
And these are how the tops of the posts look. Much easier to cut than the other ones, because the length here is only about 6.5 inches, and the other one was like 14 inches. What you doing over there, buddy?
Next, I start marking out the top post. It only ends up being a little over 4 feet long. Much more manageable than the 12-foot beams to make the first floor ceiling. I notch the first side, then cut it to length. I make the last few notches and it's all done.
And there we have it. This is going to be the top post for the A-frame, only about 4 feet long. Hope everything fits.
I load everything up in the tractor and drive down to the build site. The frost has been coming out of the ground and everything is a soupy mess. But in the last few days, the driveway is a bit more solid, so I think one trip down the road in the tractor will be okay. It's also raining a bit today, so let's hope I don't get too wet. It's real easy to raise up the post to the second story. I'll take it. I pull the first post up and set it in place. I'm using that same clamp trick to get a good grip on the post. It's really windy up here and slippery from the rain. I really need to be careful. Here I'm placing the top beam, but I forget to move the camera. As mistakes go, not the end of the world. I check the beam for level and start screwing in all the corner points. Well, I got this in just in time. It's raining and snowing a little bit here, and it's getting cold and it's starting to get dark. So I got up the first truss on the second story of the A-frame. Everything fit together just like it should have, with the with all the notching I did here. And over on the other side here. And at the top, everything fit together real nice. So I guess all my measurements were correct, and I can go ahead and make 8 more of these, and this will be all done all the way down the house. I was sitting on my deck, relaxing with the camera pointed at the creek, when 2 sandhill cranes came flying overhead, making a ruckus. And then they decided to come flying down and land in the creek. Beautiful. This is the end of the video. As always, please stay safe out there. And remember, life can be good sometimes.